Most common dreams and their meanings. Dream interpretation. What do your dreams mean? It is thought that by reading and interpreting your dreams you can discover things about yourself, such as what your brain is trying to tell you, or what you really want in life. The dreams explained in this post are going to cover most of the people reading this, so if you've been having a weird dream and you don't know what it means, stick around and you'll find the meaning here. Something cool happens if you stay on this page for more than 30 seconds, by the way. The idea is that by certain combinations of elements in a dream we can learn things about the individual's mind and the way they think deep down, therefore the meaning of the dream. Here's a summary of the most common dream symbols, and then below that is the detailed meaning of each dream symbol. Water-related dreams can mean you feel overwhelmed or unsupported by your loved ones. A dream about water can mean various things, but mainly it symbolizes being either trapped or free. The meaning depends on what you link with water in your day-to-day life. If it's a large amount of water, it can mean that you have deep emotions or a strong emotional reaction to something happening in your life right now. To dream about a vehicle tends to mean nothing in particular. However, if you dream about something like a car crash or accident, it means you have low confidence. This type of dream should be paid more attention to, as it symbolizes emotional stress or a bad mental state. If you dream about a car crash, it can actually mean that you're worried about losing something like a job, relationship, or even your house, so you need to find the source of that worry. Work out why you're worried about that thing, and then fix it. To dream about a vehicle tends to mean nothing in particular. However, if you dream about something like a car crash or accident, it means you have low confidence. This type of dream should be paid more attention to, as it symbolizes emotional stress or a bad mental state. If you dream about a car crash, it can actually mean that you're worried about losing something like a job, relationship, or even your house, so you need to find the source of that worry. Work out why you're worried about that thing, and then fix it. To dream about being trapped tends to mean you're just worried about your current situation. This can mean your job, relationship, or even which country you're in. Your mind tends to show you things in a subtle way, so if you're worried about your job holding you back from traveling, for example, your brain might create a dream in which you're trapped. A dream about being trapped in a small space usually means you're just not happy with where you are and you want to change your current situation. There's not many cases where dreaming about being trapped is a good thing, so be careful with this one. The teeth falling out dream, or I should say nightmare, is a very common dream that people have. Almost everyone's had a dream about their teeth falling out at one point in their lives, and probably wondered what it means. Turns out this dream is very common because when we're young and we lose our teeth for the first time, our milk teeth to make way for the real ones, we're scared. I remember being terrified of what was happening to me when my teeth started falling out, and it's usually the first really traumatic or scary thing we experience as young people. So it's no surprise that the brain links this first experience of fear and trauma with other things in life that make you feel scared or uneasy. So that's why if you dream about your teeth falling out as an adult, it just means you're scared or worried about the changes going on in your life now. It's like your brain saying, whoa, this stuff is worrying. It's a bit like that other big worrying thing we experienced a few years ago, where your teeth started falling out. This is another common dream, and the meaning of this one is simple. To dream about babies just means you want to continue and grow your family and create a legacy. It means you want to be a father or mother figure in your children's lives and make the world a better place. The other side of this dream, however, could be that you're holding something back. Dreaming about children can also mean that you are wanting to develop your relationship with your own inner child. It's said that everyone has an inner child or true self that is itching to be released and freed. This sometimes manifests in the form of dreams. This is a tricky one to interpret, because to dream of a specific animal usually means something completely different than a dream about animals in general. Most of us dream about animals at least once in our lives, usually way more often. A dream about animals is almost always about an aspect of yourself. Animals are so easy to link to a personality trait or emotion. For example, you might link a snake to someone who's deceptive or dishonest. You might link a lion to someone who's strong, courageous, and powerful. So to dream about a specific animal is usually fairly easy to analyze. Sometimes the actual animals we dream about can just mean we're thinking about our own behavior in the waking world. I've said something because often, we don't even know what's chasing us in these types of dreams. Being chased by something or someone is such a common dream that there are entire books and websites about it. Usually it's not anything in particular but just the feeling like you're being chased, and so you run and run. In the dream, of course, running and pushing your leg muscles to run faster does nothing but slow you down, just like trying to fly. Now, this is an interesting one because it could just be that you've seen too many horror films and you're scared of someone chasing you. Chase scenes are very common in horror films, and you might just be reliving it because you just saw a film. It can also, however, mean that you're worried about an issue that you've no resolved. Let's say if you are leaving that work you know you need to do for next week, to dream about being chased is like your brain saying, come on, pay attention to this issue now. There are some dreams that are just so common that everyone's got a different theory for what they mean. Death dreams are fairly personal like most dreams, and so you can't really put a label on what a death dream means. What you can say is that they're rarely good. It's almost always considered bad or negative to die, unless you get into higher levels of thinking where you realize that death is merely the next stage of life, the next step. On a simpler level though, a dream about death can actually just mean you're accepting that you're changing into someone else. When we change, it's said that we die a small death, meaning a part of who we were dies and makes way for the person we're becoming. In a way, we're all dying every day in small ways, as well as being born in small ways. This just means you're changing and your brain and body are trying to make sense of it, and sometimes that just appears in the form of dreaming about dying. It's not the most fun dream to have, but it can be positive if it's linked to a positive change in your life. I personally love change and see changing as a positive part of life and nature in general. Usually you only dream about a cross if you are very much in the world that recognizes them. The cross is traditionally a Christian symbol meaning the death and rebirth of Christ. This means for the most part, only religious people will dream about crosses, because they see them every day as they look through their church, Bible, etc. In other parts of the world, however, this can mean different things, so it's worth doing a bit of research to find out what this means for you. If you're not a Christian and you keep dreaming about crosses, it could mean something different. For some parts of the world, it can mean trouble or dangerous times ahead. This type of dream can just mean that you are being put to the test in waking life, or you feel like you are being judged by the people around you. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, and sometimes it's just your brain saying you're being watched by people. It can also literally mean that you're worried about taking your exams though, if you're still in school. But for adults who have long since passed their exams, it usually just means that you're worried about what others will think of you, or how you'll perform in some big event that's coming up.